It is amazing to see that we're only two cameras, but three of us are on this. Stevie, it looks like you made your way to London.
I'm on the move. I'm on the move, and I found myself here with my New Jack Swing buddy, VJ.
And you wear matching outfits too. That's so good as
Oh,
well.
well, we didn't plan that. We definitely didn't plan
Oh right, goodness. Oh, okay. So wow, Stevie. So I wonder if you're going to be recording episodes of your New Jack Swing podcast.
Oh, you've hit the nail on the head there. We did a bit of recording today, actually. Interesting recording. So musical history recording today, which you'll see on the upcoming podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the star of the pod. He'll be star of the podcast. He'll be the star, not me.
Oh goodness. Yeah, I mean, goodness. I guess it's good to expand the network and come to the largest city in the UK and see what hidden gems you might discover and stuff. Do you have anything in particular that you're hoping to find?
But I think we've both always got things like that. But I think it's more about the surprises that we might see as well. And also the fight we might have about one record that all three of us might want. So that could be interesting as well. Exactly.
Brandon, you've joined, man. Fantastic to see you. Welcome, Brandon.
Wow. Last exit to Brooklyn. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I think I like the fact that we can all see the comments as it comes along as well. Okay, so yes, well, hopefully we get to meet up tomorrow, Stevie, and probably record an episode as well. So that would be one
great
for the books. Yes. Tonight is Deja. Did you guys know about this album when it came out in '89?
BJ?
89. I knew the album. I'm just reading Last Exit to Brooklyn's comment. What video
Okay.
are you talking about?
What about the video we discovered this week?
Ooh.
Oh, yes. He's talking about the... Yes, you sent me the video. You sent me a video. Real Seduction, Ain't Nothing Wrong. I'd never seen that video, and you sent it to me. Thank you, sir. That's very kind. Brilliant video. Namdi, you were saying about Deja. Yeah, 1989. I didn't know it in 89. I would say I learned about this album maybe 1991.
Okay.
That's when I first heard this album, and obviously the main single "Made to Be Together" and "Going Crazy," because I think 91 was when I started conscientiously saying I'm going to collect New Jack Swing. 91, 92, and very good album.
Okay. Yeah. What about you, Stevie?
Well, when I was listening to a lot of the especially soul radio shows at the time in Manchester, they were playing certain tracks from this album, and they weren't the New Jack ones. Let's just say that, even though there's a lot of New Jack on this album, and I heard it a lot at the time, and I do remember buying the LP, and it took me quite a few years to get the CD, because before the internet, these CD prices were quite high. I remember getting a CD that skipped, and I was so disappointed when I put it. Years later, I had to buy another copy, but it was a very highly desirable album this at the time for me, and one that I did play a lot on my vinyl player.
Okay. Baseline G, welcome. Old School Flavor, welcome as well. And you also mentioned Brandon. I didn't. I think I got made aware of the group probably 10 years ago, but didn't really listen as much to the songs or all the songs until recently. And I think, and I maybe just the version of the music that I got from you, Stevie, but it didn't. A lot of the songs didn't sound dated. It sometimes you can hear stuff that you can say, yeah, that's stuck in the 80s. This didn't. Most of the songs did seem like, okay, it could have been in the mid 90s. it was a more mature sound from Teddy, and dare I say, it was a Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis sound.
Ooh, interesting.
It was, I mean, some of the songs I wrote down that reminded me of whether Alexander O'Neill or Janet's or Climax. It just felt like
Oh man.
this was
Oh,
a Jimmy and Terry type sound, which wasn't a bad thing actually. It made me appreciate it more. And so there was a mixture to me of New Jack Swings tracks, and then they had the sort of the Minnesota, Minneapolis type of sounds. And in a way, I can appreciate the album more because of those two sounds. But I actually preferred the Minneapolis sounds, the songs that seemed influenced by Jimmy and Terry a lot more than the others. And I'll explain why as we go along.
And
Um,
based on that, I have a feeling I know what your number one is. I've got a strong hunch I know what your number one is. I just,
I wonder if you do.
I mean, really, we've got to go into the whole backstory of Deja, because they were called Aura at first with a different singer in. Do you remember when they were on Top of the Pops, Namdi? I don't know if you remember.
No.
Well, that big hit. What
You and Me Tonight.
You and Me Tonight was a massive hit. Massive hit in,
Yeah.
big soul hit in the mid-80s. I remember it on Top of the Pops.
They were called Aura at that time?
No, they were called Deja then.
They were called
Okay.
Deja at the time, but before that, they were called Aura. Aurra. And they had a version. What was that, Slave Track?
They did so many big tracks. They had Checking Me Out. They had a lot of big tracks. It's like that prelude disco boogie sound. Yeah, the great Aura, great band, fantastic band.
And so they went from being were they still with Gene at the time?
No. Under Aura, they weren't under
No,
Gene.
I don't remember him. No,
I don't think they were under Gene. I could be wrong, but I don't think they were under Gene. I don't.
But you can put it in that Slave bracket and all them others that were coming out at the time.
Yeah.
So you can put it in that bracket.
And so you knew of Aura then, or what was?
There's a track they made called "Checking You Out." You want to have a listen to that. It's an incredible record.
No, but did you know of Aura when they came out?
In back then, back before Deja.
Okay, I wonder what year that could have been. That if Deja came out in '89, was that like '87?
You're looking at 82, 83, 81.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So Send Your Love, the album came out in 81, I think. That was their big album, Aura's big album.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I hit from them in '86 when they were called Aura. Good evening. Wow. So people knew them from as Aura. Okay. Wow. Okay.
I mean, the big change was the female singer Starlina Young. She joined Deja. Then she went solo. She had a solo album after this Deja album. Didn't do too good though. She did release a single from it. I think was I'll Take You There. I can't remember. There's a big cover version she did, Starlina.
No, I'm not sure.
Then what about Misty Day? Then is she the one on this album, on this Deja album?
I think it might be her. I think it's saying that she's the vocalist on this. I haven't got any of the credits here. So Baseline G, you said Big Bub wrote a lot on this album. I know he's involved on this, but I can't remember the writing credits.
Yeah, I've got the writing credits. Yes.
Right.
Big Bub and Gene Griffin writing and producing some of the songs.
What's that second name? What's that second name? I didn't hear you. Right?
Yeah, Big Bub and Gene Griffin is listed as co-writing and producing half the songs here. Yes, as he normally would do. So I know to scratch that out and put Teddy's name. But yeah, Big Bub did 5 songs, and actually makes sense because there's 1 or 2 tracks that I listened to and thought this was a Today album song that didn't make the album, and they gave it to these guys. So it kind of makes sense. Okay. Yes. I mean, did you guys get into it from the beginning, or did it grow on you? Because it grew on me because I had to listen to it a number of times, and it grew on me. Then I can appreciate.
Some tracks on here that are just pure swing, like Going Crazy is just time is running out. Any New Jack fan is them for the first time, and they're in heaven. You know, it's got all them. Dare I say it, GR sound.
It's the GR sound.
It's
It was
the
the
GR
GR sound.
sound.
Whoever was
Whatever that
involved
is.
in the GR sound, it was a part of the GR sound. Whatever that meant, whoever was involved or was the main person or whatever, I don't know.
But yeah, but I mean, we do have to just appreciate the fact that in '89, Teddy is doing this. He's doing Zan. He is also then doing the Today album. He's then doing all the other stuff for the Jacksons and George Mike, no, Boy George, doing all these tracks in just
Very busy.
in that time frame, and then has time. Um, yeah, I mean, and this is when Sprague would say that yeah, Teddy was just in the studio, just nonstop, just working, just working, just working, and Gene was just eating and eating and eating. But it just imagine just how much stuff he put out.
Yeah, he was sorting the pizzas out, weren't he? Now
He was sorting the pizza. The credits say that everything was arranged by and keyboards by Teddy Riley, backing vocals Bernard Bell, Lee Drayford, which is Bub, Marsha McCulloch, Marsha from Eminem and also from Abstract,
Yeah.
Maurice Martin, Michelle Mitchell, Mike Curtis, Rodney Ascap, and Teddy Riley, all on the all doing the backing vocals, and engineering by Dave Way was doing engineering.
Dave was the man on this. Dave Way has made this sound work the way it works. That is Dave Way magic. That's what that is. Dave Way in 1989. Oh my God, that boy.
Yeah. And then Curtis Jones on vocals and guitar. And yes, so those were the main credits there. But as we go through the songs, I could talk about the writers, because actually, Curtis Jones wrote "You Don't Appreciate My Love." More and More was written by. Let me see. Hold on. So Big Bob wrote More and More, Going Crazy, Time Is Running Out, Patience and Time, Dance. So those were written by Big Bob. And then Curtis Jones wrote Sexy Dancer, Dreamer, and You Don't Appreciate My Love. And also Made to Be Together. And then Teddy did the music. But Gene put his name there conveniently. So yes, that's definitely an interesting setup. I think I did have did wonder about they marketed them as a duo, like Ashford and Simpson, or like Atlantic Star, male female. But when you listen to the album, Curtis is singing the bulk of the songs, and Misty comes in with a few songs that she just sings leads to, I think one, and then she almost shares the verse with two tracks or three tracks. So she's not. So it was mainly him singing, and she comes in and out.
Yeah, I think Curtis Jones is the main singer. Curtis Jones, definitely the main singer. He's done some amazing solo work as well. I think we were talking about some song he did. I think it was 2005 or something like that. Absolutely stunning track, but we can't remember the name of the song for the life of us. I want me something. So I want something. Somebody wanted something.
Yeah,
we don't know what they wanted, but it was a great track, and it's definitely worth checking out. If I remember it, I'll share it. And Tonda Rai Gawara, she's mentioned the Rex and Effects song there, the New Jack Swing verse on, and that's where I first heard Deja, because I didn't know these artists. Like, you got to remember, like, as per my age, I was collecting music, but I was a kid. I'd go buy a Janet Jackson cassette or Michael Jackson Bad for £5.49 in our price or wherever, and I didn't really start collecting New Jack until 91, I'd say 91, 92. And but when I heard that New Jack Swing track, because that was played on Dance Energy, I think that song was played on Dance Energy, and they mentioned Deja and My Homeboys Guy. I'm like, who are these Deja people? And I didn't know who they were. So that was what told me I needed to investigate. And that's how I learned about them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, that definitely was a single. I mean, I was like, "Where's Bobby?" He didn't show up in the video. But yes, and Teddy loved the name that he named his oldest daughter Deja. But yet, I mean, did you feel that it was this a GR production album, or did you feel as though it did have that? It felt they did something different with this group.
I think because of the age, because like you say, they were an established group, Deja or Aura, and I think Teddy did something respectfully with them, which encompasses their sound and also put his sound in. But like I said, I've said this on the podcast before. There was an interview Teddy did, might have been in Blues and Soul. I read it in Blues and Soul magazine, how he really didn't want to give his sound to the more older OG established artists like James Ingram, like Deja, but the work was coming in. He had to do it. So,
he didn't have a choice, though.
If he'd have had he wouldn't have done this allegedly. So,
also, I think you mentioned that there's a meshing of the Flight Time sound, and the GR production sound. I think there's one track on here which it's a mesh made in heaven. If Jam and Lewis and Teddy Riley did a track together, that would be the track. And we'll talk about that later. I can't wait to talk about that track.
Okay.
I've discovered something today. I didn't realize this. So Last Exit to Brooklyn, I have seen you on almost every single podcast that I have been on. I know Namdi and Stevie have done 100 of these. But I did not know that Last Exit to Brooklyn is you, Stuart. Stuart, I've been in touch with you forever. I didn't know that you are Stuart. Hello, Stuart. Last Exit to Brooklyn. Lovely to meet you on the podcast. On the podcast, and know exactly who I'm talking to. That's great. So
okay, thank you. You're giving out his government name, and so the IRS will come after.
Sorry about that.
Baseline G was asking, was this the first GR production release? And unless I don't have the it just has the year. But okay, this was it just has the year.
Rex and Effect were out in '88. That was the GR production. I'm sure Rex and Effect came out with the GR Productions. Did they not?
Yeah.
Was that GR Productions? Yeah, that was '88. So that was a year before.
Okay, but then you added this one. Zan, Abstract, Today
was 88. Today was 88, but was it credited as a GR Productions? Was it?
Yeah.
We'd have to.
I can't remember the credits on that Today. I can't remember the credits on the Today. I think Rex and Effect said GR Productions. Am I wrong? If anybody at home, anybody that's watching this, if you can look on the credits and just tell us that would be helpful. And Namdi, I wanted to share.
No, I'm sure in the credits on that are Mark O'Reilly and Gene Griffin. On the
Mark L. Riley and Gene Griffin.
They're all over that.
But was it Mark L. Riley and Gene Griffin for GR Productions? God, I think it was. I don't know why. Because it was definitely Mark L. Riley and Gene Griffin for GR Production on Redhead Kingpin. But that was 1990. That was a year later, wasn't it? That was next.
Okay.
That was the year after this.
What, Redhead Kingpin? No, that was 89.
Was that 89?
Yeah, Do the Right Thing.
That was 89. Of course, it was 89. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was GR Productions. I don't know what that first.
Okay. I think for me, 89 was the year of GR Productions.
It definitely felt like it.
Just a whole year of stuff coming out from that.
Yeah. And then the label folded in December of 89. December of 89. So everyone went home for Christmas, and they got messages that it's all folded. So yes, and so if you think about 1990, was they went back in the studio to finish the Future album, and after they released the Future album, I think he would have done the Keith Sweat remix and the Jane Child remix and stuff like that after the Guy album. And then it was being called, and then John Marie said that during the Japan tour, they had only been called by Michael to start doing some work. So that's when they came back, did Madison Square Garden, and he drove off. Was that Damien? I think Damien said it, that Teddy just said goodbye to everyone, and that was it. He drove off to go to LA to go work on Dangerous right after the Future tour. So so it worked out for Teddy because he's done the tour, and then he goes straight into Michael. But yes, that's another show. All right. So
just a quick question.
Yeah.
Is it possible to change my name to VJ and Stevie, seeing as we're both on the screen? I feel kind of, it just seems a bit odd just seeing my name when there's two of us here.
But you can do that in your you can do that from your end.
Okay, I got it. Okay, I'm gonna do VJ. Okay, VJ. It's just gonna bug me for the whole of this episode, so I just gotta sort that out. There we go, sorted. Okay, great.
Okay. Okay. So
Called as VS Productions. VS Productions.
Yeah. Today was a GR production. So yeah, we had Works in Effect today, Abstract, Deja, Redhead Kingpin, and I think those are the only ones that came out, because Trey Lorenz was part of Redhead Kingpin's FBI crew. And he even confirmed it. Come Christmas, they all got calls to say, hey, everyone, the label has been folded, everyone's free to go. And Teddy says because he owned 50%, he was able to release everyone. And the reason why today stayed with GR was because they hadn't signed up yet. They hadn't been given the opportunity to come out. So then Gene said, okay, guys, stay in Georgia. I'm coming over, and we're going to put your album out. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Namdi, before the show, before the list, I just wanted to share a few books, if I can. These are books that I think might be useful to some of our listeners. So this is, I think you can see this. This is Anthony Brown, Don't Leave. So he worked in Future recording studios for 8 years. And this is a fascinating insight into Future Records and everything that happened. Not much mention of GR Productions, because this is after that. Sorry for not mentioning your buddy there, Namdi. But this is a good book. It's worth reading. So that's Don't Leave by Anthony Brown. We mentioned this on the LA Babyface and Jam and Lewis podcast. This is LA Reid, Sing to Me. This is a fantastic biography. You have to read the autobiography. It's stunning. So it talks about LA Reid's going from Cincinnati to LA. And the quote of this, we mentioned it on that podcast, was, "You're more likely to make it in LA by mistake than you are to make it in Cincinnati intentionally." And I thought that was a fascinating quote, because LA's LA, right?
Yeah. I did hear him say that on Questlove's podcast, yeah. And
the other book I highly recommend. This is written by Narada Michael Walden, and it's about Whitney Houston. And this is an exceptional read. If you're a fan of Whitney Houston, you've got to read this. Wow. And I think I'll leave that at that. I think that's enough. He's got a few more here, Namdi's got.
Well, there's 2 more coming out. I'll Be Sure's autobiography is coming out, and then Teddy's The Man Behind the Music is coming out in February, I think.
Which other one?
Teddy Riley's autobiography.
Yes, he's got his book, yeah. Both of those books seem so exciting. I'll Be Sure doing a book. I mean, I think he's got some things to talk about.
Yeah.
And I think we're all ready to be shocked. I think.
Yes.
There might not be a podcast for 2 weeks because we're busy reading the books. We're busy reading the books. Like, don't bother us, guys.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if we can get into the album, and I can start with my number 10. Um, the one song that I felt was a little dated for my number 10 was "Sexy Dancer." It sounded a
It's a
little
hot
eight.
dog dancer and a sexy dancer.
It sounded a lot. It sounded mid '80s, like '85 kind of thing, like Rick James, and I wasn't too keen on that. So that's wasn't too bad, but that would be my least favorite on the album. So that comes in at
Exactly
number.
that. Me and VJ were having discussion about that track just before
Okay.
we were on air about sexy dancer.
And Stuart, last exit to Brooklyn, you've mentioned Boy George and Billy Davis. The interesting thing about Billy Davis is, as far as I can tell, it's the only record on GR Productions that came out in 1990. So it would have been recorded in 89, but it dropped in 1990 because that's the date on that record. So just an interesting tidbit there.
Yeah, I forgot about 2300 Jackson Street. Actually, that was 89 as well, and she.
Yeah, that's what we said. Yeah, they did all the Jackson stuff there. I think Teddy would be the only person who's recorded every member of the Jackson family.
Yeah,
Because
that was the case.
Wow.
Yeah,
because no, Latoya and Ruby.
No, he didn't produce Latoya.
Was
She's
Latoya
on
not there?
She's on it. I swear Latoya's on that album. The only track that Michael was on, I think,
Oh,
was
I
on
thought you
20...
meant separately.
Oh,
separately.
Yeah. But Michael recorded his. Teddy says Michael recorded his vocals and separately, but then he went on to do the Dangerous album, so he would have bagged that in. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. So yeah, and I don't think LA and Babyface worked with Janet, and Jimmy and Terry have not worked with the Jacksons other than Michael and Janet.
Other than Michael and Janet, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean Quincy would say that he's worked with them on "We Are the World." So yeah,
That's an interesting one, isn't it?
apart from Janet wasn't on "We Are the World."
She wasn't. Yeah, that's
No, so Teddy would take that claim. That
interesting, isn't it? Teddy worked with all of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
Wow.
Wow,
Yeah.
mad.
Yeah.
That's a mad. Which is the one producer that's worked with all of them?
Oh, the Jacksons are so funny.
I think they're only on that one song as well.
Yeah, all the family were all on that one song because he said that only Michael didn't record his vocals, but Janet and everyone came in to do their vocals and stuff.
He's in the video though, wasn't he?
He's in the video.
Yeah, he's in the video. He recorded his vocals at home and sent them in. He didn't go to Lowry where Teddy was.
That out?
Huh?
How did you find that out?
No, Teddy was in an interview, and he said that Michael did not come in. That Michael's the only one that didn't come into the studio to record his vocals. That he sent them in, and he was really heartbroken because that would have been his first time to see Michael. Because somebody says, "Oh, you already worked with Michael before Dangerous on the 2300 Jackson Street," and he says, "No, I didn't, because he didn't record his vocals like the rest of the family. He sent his vocals in."
And Last Exit has said an interesting question. Did Teddy work with Rebby? I think Rebby was on 2300 Jackson.
Yeah. She sang the first verse, I think.
Yeah, Rebby's on there.
Yeah. She sang the first. Yeah, she sang the first one. So what we meant was that all the Jacksons recorded their vocals, and Teddy engineered and produced the track that day. Apart from that, he didn't just do a separate song with them. It's just he all recorded them on one album on that one song, and so he would have said, "I've worked with all the Jacksons on that one song."
And I believe Aura changed their name because it was like contract. Aura was contracted to one label. Deja went a different direction, so I think it was a label thing, if I remember correctly.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Gene probably thought, you know what, I don't want to share no money with nobody. Now, saying that, I just saw that this girl, Jade from Little Mix, is coming out with a solo album, and she's calling herself Jade. And which I didn't think you could do that, because there was already a group called Jade who have already released stuff. So I think if I was a member of Jade, I would wait until the album drops and get my lawyers in and make some money out of that, because you can't have two people with the same name in the same industry releasing, because Jade have a catalog, and so anyway.
It's interesting. There's what did I discover this week? This was after our last podcast. The good girls are the good girls that we know from Motown, etc.
Yeah.
I was looking at the on Spotify, and there's another group called the Good Girls that are on the same profile, and I'm like, this person doesn't look like Shireen, because I'm not gonna forget what Shireen. I'm just saying, man. And this
Yeah.
looks very
I
different.
think,
Yeah.
and I think it's just maybe no one. When you own your name, you need to you need to make sure that you pay attention to that, and get your lawyer to go after them, because especially and maybe that's why the Good Girls, their album Motown, put it on streaming service so that it can be checked. But yeah, you need to protect your name because somebody else can come up with it. Yes. Anyway, and Benson says he knew the professor would have the answer. So to why Aura changed his mind. So what is your number 10, VJ?
My number 10. My number 10 is 4 minutes 50 seconds long. It's a song that Stevie mentioned earlier today. It is Dreamer. It's a lovely production, but it doesn't extend beyond my 10th place. I think it's got a lovely chorus. I do think the production is fantastic. I think Teddy's keyboard stabs on it they're wild on this. I think they're fantastic. But I think as a whole song, I don't think it gelled as well as some of the other tracks. So unfortunately, Dreamer is my number 10.
Okay. I've just seen that Deja's album was re-released in 2023 in Japan by Universal Music Group, and they made together 12-inch mix as a bonus track, and they updated the publishing, the credits and everything.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So I do wonder. Okay, so I mean, they that was just Universal Music Group. So yeah. Okay, so the Dream, Stevie. What about you? What's number 10 for you?
I'm really tempted to change my number 10 now. Dude, you listen, man. My number 10 is my number 10. You do you. Whatever your list was first, whatever your gut said before, that's fine. It's not like one person said this, I'm going to do this. You do you, bro. Right. Because what I had at 10 has actually grown on me. I dismissed it back then, but it has grown on me. And I think it's sounding more mature and good now. Whilst this track, it's just sounding a tad dated, as Namdi's already mentioned. He's a hot romancer. He's a sexy dancer.
Okay.
I'm cringing hearing them lyrics now. But I'm going to put "Sexy Dancer," which was at number 9. I'm going to move that back to number 10.
Okay.
It's too cringe now. The two of you are going to love where I've put "Sexy Dancer."
I'm sure it's in your top 5, man. Yeah,
It's
I'm sure.
A hot romancer.
We might have to wait a little while till we get it.
It's a hot romancer.
That's the best lyric ever, man.
Hot romancer.
Yeah, that's a great lyric.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a song that was written by Bub, and produced by and music by Teddy, and it's dance. It was also okay, and let me see what I wrote down when I wrote down dance.
Move your body to the beat.
I said that it was a good New Jack track, but my thing was, I don't think Curtis could. I think his vocals weren't strong for the track. I think he was good with the ballads and mid tempos, but when there was up tempo stuff, I felt he was lacking the grit to pull the tracks off. So I think I was missing that. I think you had a Diesel or Bub or Aaron singing some of these songs, it would sound so much different. So I think that's where I felt short. I felt like he was better with the ballads, and so yes, Dance was number 9 for me.
I'm really tending to agree with Namdi for I don't normally, but
Hey,
Freeze,
man.
I'm really agreeing with you. I can't.
I'm happy. I'm happy to stand in the corner by myself. I'll stick to my list. I've got my number 9 was 4 minutes 34 seconds. It is Waiting Downtown.
What?
Waiting downtown.
No,
Number 9.
yeah, I think the keys are great throughout. I think they're
Oh.
they're great keys. It's a nice little TR nodder, up tempo, but a little safe, I think, for the time. And it wasn't memorable for me. Sorry, guys, it's my number 9.
Wow. The first stunner.
Okay.
Is it a red card? Is it a red
No,
card?
not quite. Not
No,
quite.
no, no, no,
Maybe
no,
yellow.
no.
Possibly yellow.
Yeah.
You got me waiting, David. Okay, what about you, Steve? What's your number 9 for you?
You know what? I'm going to do this again. I'm going to move my number 8 to number 9 because I totally agree. Move your body. It's almost like it is an overhang from the disco days, but it doesn't. I do like. I like the grind of it. The baseline grind, but I'm going to move it from 8 to number 9. I'm going to go with Dance. I think this other track has really grown on me. What was originally my number 10 has now been pushed up a couple of places.
That's growth, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the London air. So he comes to London, breathes in, breathes in the hostel of
Is it
London.
an up tempo? Is it up tempo that one?
Oh, goodness.
Okay.
Going to number 8 for me. Now, this track I said was climax meets elements of Janet, and I like the fact that Misty was singing on this, and I actually did like the track, but the others that I preferred a little bit more. But if there was anything that says that this was a Minneapolis sounding inspired song, it was Waiting Downtown.
So we're not far off. You were giving me crap like 2 minutes ago.
No. It was a nice track, and I did like it. I did like other tracks better. So I would say from 8 to 1, there was nothing but love for the rest of them. I think the 9 and 10, I probably wasn't too pleased with. But Waiting Downtown, I appreciated it. But as I said, I had elements. I could imagine Janet singing it, post Control, or I can imagine Climax. So yeah, Waiting Downtown. Yeah. What did you get, Stevie?
No, it's you next.
My number 8.
Oh, sorry, VJ. Yeah.
4 minutes 26 seconds. Is also Dance. I think the snares on this are fantastic. I think the B line gets you. You just start dancing. The moment this song starts, you just gets you going. And I think Curtis Jones sounds very good on this. I think it's a good
did?
song. I think he sounds good on it. I do think he sounds good on it. But I know what you mean about the grit. I know what you're saying. I agree with that. But I still think his tone is still nice.
Yeah. It was a sense of front when he was singing up tempo. I just thought you're not carrying this track along with you. You're not carrying the track along with you. And that was a big thing for me. All right. Stevie, what did you get for your number 8?
Number 8. Before getting to that, just a shameless plug. My Michael Jackson 7-inch single haul is airing tomorrow night, premiering at 8 p.m. on my channel. And I'm going to tell you now, I found a 7-inch single that I had no idea this track was on 7-inch. Absolutely no idea. And it's going to blow people's minds. It's going to absolutely, when you see it on the video, when I find it, I was absolutely stunned. So it's going to be a lot of Discogs clicks this weekend. Try to get hold of it. put it that way. Anyway, what we at? Number 8.
Number 8.
Yeah.
Right, I've moved Dreamer from number 10 to number 8. And the reason for that is, I must admit, back then, I kind of dismissed this track because I wasn't a fan of reggae. And you could ask, is this Teddy Riley's first ever reggae production as an album, not as a remix? I know he did remix, like ragga mixes with Heavy D, but just as a straight, like, track reggae, I don't think he ever did. I think this is the only one.
So we were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
So an unreleased track off Guys the Future album, Teddy did do a ragga track for the Future.
Wow.
So the ragga rap is by Heavy D, and Heavy D is something along the lines of, I'm rolling with Guy, first I roll with Teddy, then with Aaron and Damian, something like that. He's saying something like that, and it's a song called Push. And there were 2 versions of Push. There was another version of Push which ended up becoming Her, but this version is it's a ragga track, and it's Heavy D and Guy, and it's a reject track from the Future. That's the only other track I know that there's ragga. But it's interesting. You were talking about Dreamer, right? What is it that's made you so warm to this track now? What is it?
I think it's got it's matured with age, that track. The chorus, like you said before, the chorus is really, it's a strong chorus.
Yeah,
it's just grabbed me. It's got a warm sound to it.
Yeah.
And I've just, maybe I dismissed it because it was reggae, but I'm not dismissing it now. So it's moved up a few places. It's my, it's my sleeper track that has moved up a few places. And I might start playing that more now from this album. My new discovery.
Well, when Steve gets his choice for album, he might choose a Buju Banton album next.
Don't know.
Maybe not that far. Maybe not that far.
Do I have the? Oh, I don't have the full album here. It's very similar to a particular track of the Wine and Return album, but I don't have the I don't have it on my phone, so I couldn't play it. But anyway, not a problem. My number 7 is what did I put down for number 7? I think who was Yearning for Your Love. It had the drums of Kissing Game in it.
Ooh.
And it had a little vibe of Yearning for Your Love, and it was Misty singing Patience and Time.
Ooh.
And I did like it. I thought
High five. I completely missed that.
Fantastic.
Wow. Yeah, that's a revelation. That.
Yeah, you can. Maybe that's a Dave Way influence, but you can hear the sort of the snare kind of kissing thing. And I thought she did well with it. So that was. But what I say is from number 8 to number 2, very little separates them. And when I see what I'm putting in, it was like it could have gone either way. But I did like it. I did appreciate her singing on that. It was written by Big Bub. It was written by Big Bub on this. Yes. Yes.
That was number 7, right?
That was number 7.
So, did you want to add anything? I was going to share my
No, go ahead.
My number 7 is 4 minutes 33 seconds, and because me and Namdi are so in sync, mine is also Patience and Time. And I just want to, I'm only going to play it like this little bit. This is just stunning. That is so lush.
But if you hear the drums, they do do do. I like
okay.
the
So the lyrics, however, they sound good, but they're not great, and that's why I had to put it at number 7. But the production on that is just stunning. It's magic.
Yeah. You could see where Teddy just keep reminding he did Kissing Game and High Five after he left GR. Look at all of that, how he could have lost all that publishing to Gene. Yeah. Madden Gamer, welcome. So yeah. So but if you listen to the drums, you can get that the vibe for it. Yeah. Okay, Stevie, what about you?
Waiting
Number s-
downtown makes no. Was it you next, VJ?
No,
No, VJ just said patient.
I've gone for Waiting Downtown at number 7. I'll be
Waiting
honest, I really
down.
like that's one of my favourites back then.
it's a nice song. It is a nice song.
Mm.
It's a very, very good album. Like, we say you put something at number 1 or you put something at number 10. This is a really good album.
It's a good album.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, apart from dance and sexy, sexy dance and dance, those are the only
I
two.
enjoyed them tracks back then, but now they're sounding a bit. But
Yeah, now maybe I'm listening to it now. Yeah.
so
uh, um. Okay, number 6. Oh yes. Who did this one? Yeah, Bob did most of these tracks here. How many did he do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Time, time, time is running out.
wow.
And this was the song that I said it sounded like a Deja song. If it sounded to me like the first time I heard it without looking at the credits, because I think, hey Ezekiel, I think one of the things I know that I can get easily partially biased by if I look at who wrote or produced it, then I can just start to favor a song. So when I listened to this almost 20 times, I only saw the credits this evening. But before I saw the credits, I wrote down um, New Jack weak vocals by the guy,
What?
but I mentioned that it sounds like a track for today. And when I looked at the credits to see that Bob wrote it, I said it found to sound like this was something they were going to do for him at the Today album, and maybe didn't make it, so they just gave it to them. But vocally, I didn't think he could carry it. But
Can
I
you
liked the production.
can you imagine if there's a demo version of this with Bob singing it?
I'm sure there is because he wrote it. He would have. I'm sure it was on the Today album.
Time is running out. It's such a good song. Imagine
Yeah.
Big Bob singing that.
I would have believed that he would have.
Revelation there.
That's
so
a
you
good
know.
point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Namdi.
I never thought of that before.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. So okay, time is running out. Yeah. So that was my number 6.
Before I go into my number 6, I was going to say, Tunda Rai, you just said about Rex and Effect doing a ragga mix. I think what me and Stevie were talking about was original compositions that Teddy did, which were like a ragga production rather than a ragga remix, if that makes sense. So yeah, Teddy did. He also did the No Diggity. What was that? That ragga mix.
Well, hold on a minute. There is a big difference between ragga and reggae.
Very different.
And this Dreamer it didn't have a ragga sound. It had. I'm saying the point I made was
Reggae,
it is reggae. That's pure reggae.
Okay, yeah, sure.
And I don't think he's done anything reggae-fied on any. Someone proved me wrong. Someone put something that if he did, but I don't remember anything else. So
that even that the Guy Reject track I mentioned, that's more of a ragga track.
I'm thinking Kurt Jones. I'm sure Kurt Jones has done some other solo tracks like that because I think he was influenced by reggae as well. We'd have to ask him. We'd have to get him on the podcast and ask
Kurt
him.
Jones, yeah, he'd be a good one too.
Yeah.
Come on,
Definitely.
Okay, so what's
my
yeah? So
number 6? Are we on number 6?
yeah.
My number 6 is 4 minutes 30 seconds. It is More and More.
What?
This is a great production. Firstly, I just have to start.
What?
This is a great production. This is.
And it didn't make your top 5.
Stop picking on me, everybody.
Dear.
Okay, more and more. Great production. It's a lovely slow jam, and I wanted to add. I think it would easily make a decent single, but there are 5 songs that I put ahead of this, so that's why I put this at number 6. I just also want to say I love the style of production on this. So I'll leave it at that. It wasn't enough to make my top 5, but I like it a lot. But then it's like what Namdi said, 8 to 1. They're all great songs that they could have gone this way or that way. I'm with you, Namdi. Namdi sentence.
I had more a little bit higher, but African Chronicles says a few Gene productions that did not go well. ARB, Mine, Basic Black, and Deja. I think out of all of them, I think the best album out of all of them was Basic Black. That's a crying shame that didn't blow up.
Here's one for the real hardcore New Jack. You was playing it earlier, VJ. David C.
David
Shake.
C. Yeah.
Have you not heard that one? David C. Shake. We're saying all it needed was Deja to sing this, and it would have been a basic black track.
It says it's produced by somebody. If anybody knows who the actual producer is behind that, please let us know.
Yes, that's David C. in a track called Shake. Go on YouTube.
It says it's credited to Gene Griffith. Yeah.
Okay.
But-
It didn't say who played the piano or who played the.
No. I think it's written by, if I'm not mistaken, it's written by Mucho and Deja.
Then
It's
it would have been
probably the
Mucho.
greatest track that Basic Black never made. Put it that way.
Wow.
It'll be up Nanby Street, right?
Oh yeah, he'll say straight away. Diesel should have been singing this. Diesel would have been singing.
If we see Nanby, if we do get to see you tomorrow,
We'll play
Nanby,
it tomorrow.
we're playing it, and if you
Okay.
get to run, we're going to get a video of you doing the Running Man, and then we're going to. That's it. So David
But
C.
they can be no arguments that the Basic Black. It'll be hard for me to find another New Jack album. And I say New Jack because the Guy album, debut album, is not a New Jack album, even though it's a solid R&B swing album. But yeah, but anyway, Stevie, what is your number 6?
I had Patience and Time at number 6, and again,
Okay,
it's a stunning track.
yeah.
It's so good that it's not even made my top 5. That's it. But you didn't have it, did you?
I had it at number 7.
And what did you have it?
Yeah,
as?
I had it at number 7 as well.
And I've got number. So we're in the same ballpark, really. I think we're all agreed we do like the track.
It's a really good song.
Yeah, it's not. We're not got it in our top 5.
Those little keys at the beginning are magic, man. It's like, it's nice, man.
Yeah.
So the guy from End Touch, he did the Cut Close album.
Ooh.
Because he was working with Keith, one of the guys from End Touch.
Yeah, he was. I forgot about that as well.
Yeah. So yeah, Benson, we got in touch coming up. So I know you're a big fan.
Yes, he's planned for September 2028. If you can wait.
I think Benson's saying that he wants to see you doing the Running Man to Untouched as well. We've got to play you that as well. Yeah, a couple of videos of you doing the Running Man to
Poor guy.
Yeah. So number 5 for me is, I guess I'm always being a dreamer. I mean, I did like, I like, you know, it reminded, it had a better start than never gonna loving you down. Loving You Down is one of the best songs on the Bobby album, but it started a little weak before it kicks in. I think I like how Dreamer starts off. And I do wonder how Teddy got into the. I was surprised, like, okay, this is a nice, mature sound. It just didn't sound Teddy in any way. And it was a very interesting song, but I did like it. So it made my top 5. I guess I want to be a dream. And how he sang, I like how he sang on this track. And there was a sense of hope in his vocals. So this particular track got the best out of his vocals, and that's why it was higher up than some of the other tracks for me. So I think his vocals, it was just at the level for him to really shine on that. Yes. So yes, going to be a dreamer. There was a song by on the Winans Return album, not a Teddy's track, that it sounds very similar to that. If as we go along, I'll find it, then I will let you guys know. Gene Griffin's also created a Men of Visions track. What? Joyride?
Yeah, that was an interesting. Tunderai shared something. That's a fascinating fact. That's what you shared there. Now that you've shared that, I remember seeing that and thinking, interesting that in 1997, Gene Griffin is connected to a Teddy Riley production on the MJJ label through Sony, which was fascinating. Right? 1997. Gene Griffin credited on Joyride. That's the Tasha Scott track. The Men of Vision with Tasha Scott, I think.
Okay. Yeah, so the song I was thinking about, it's Every Day is the Same with Stevie Wonder. There's similarities with Being a Dreamer and Every Day the Same featuring Stevie Wonder with the Winans. That's I kind of got the vibe from that. But anyway, all right. So, so I gave my five. Who, 3D? What was yours?
Me next.
Yeah, number five.
My number 5 is at 4 minutes 44. It made it to the B side of Made to Be Together. And I like this song a lot. I don't care what Stevie says. I don't care what Namdi says. I like this song a lot. It means something to me. It's obviously Sexy Dancer at number 5. I like this song. Yeah. And
Wow.
I think it's a fantastic example of a GR production.
Oh
And
God.
it might sound a little dated now, but at the time, it meant a lot to me because
Wow.
the only thing I had from Deja, the first thing I had from Deja was the Made to Be Together single. And I had Made to Be Together and Sexy Dancer. So I know two songs. Then I had the Going Crazy 12-inch, and I think Waiting Downtown's on there as well. So I had 4 songs all of a sudden, plus those mixes. And then I got the album all around the same time, but I was learning slowly. But Sexy Dancer was my second introduction to a GR production Deja track. And that's why
Sexy
that's why it's my
dancer.
number 5. Forget you, Stevie, and forget you, Nam. I like it.
Oh, goodness. Steve, what about you?
Gosh, I'm just looking at that comment from Benson's Romeo. Remember that? Romeo and For You. Oh, what a track that was.
I'll do anything. What a tune.
What a banger that was.
What a,
yeah. Anyway, number 5. You know what? I was umming and ahhing where to put this track. I think it started at number 3 and it's made its way back to number 5. There's days when I can be really into this, and the other days I think it's too safe, a bit like Whitney and Bobby. Something in common, but
Yeah.
Made to Be Together has made my top 5, but only at number 5. It is a very good track. It is a very, very good track. On another day, it'd be higher up, but I do think it is a very good track.
Which one is that?
The title track, Made to Be Together.
Oh, that's number 5.
Yes, number 5.
What?
Yes.
What?
It's me.
Is man's mad?
No, it's 4 of the tracks that I think of. Yeah.
No, fine. No, it's your.
Wait,
You do you, bro. You do.
It's
you.
a bit safe, isn't it? It's a bit.
I'm going to
it's
talk
a
about
bit
Made to
safe.
Be Together. We're going to have a play of what Made to Be
Oh,
Together means
dear.
in a little while. So we'll get it. Fair enough.
Okay. So my number 4 track is, I think this is the song that I think Teddy continued to use. Even Basic Black used this sort of the sample for this one with the whoop, kind of the dog bark and stuff. And I like how Misty comes on the bridge with the track. I still wrote down it was as a New Jack track, it was fire, but I still wrote down weak vocals. I just thought that he couldn't carry the track. I just didn't think he could carry it, but I loved the production. So it was almost like, despite the vocals, I think the song still did well. Now as I said, I think he was much better on the ballads and mid tempos, and I thought this needed a heavy Diesel or an Aaron, or there's only 3 of them. There's Diesel, Aaron, and even the guy, I can't remember his name now. Even the guy from probably the one who they've said is probably the best of all of them was the guy from Blackstreet.
Dave.
Black.
Dave Hollister? Joseph?
No. Joseph Stone Street. I mean, everyone says that even Tam Lucas was saying vocally, he was just on another level. So just imagine those 4 powerhouses: Stone Street, Diesel, Bub, and Aaron. And they said that Stone Street was probably just slightly above them all. But I just felt that they needed something with that power for this track. It would have been number 1 for me if it was, but it made number 4, Going Crazy. Woof.
And it's interesting. Like Going Crazy at number 4. That's fine. What is most interesting about what you shared is the idea of that group. That group sounds so good, doesn't it? That sounds so good. Can you imagine that as a group? Big Bob, Aaron Hall, Dezo, and Joseph Stonestreet.
Wow.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
It would be hard because who would lead and who would. It would be very hard because I think
They would, yeah, they'd be.
I
Like
think vocal.
LSG. You had Levert, Gerald Levert, Keith Sweat, and Johnny Gill. They all got very, very strong vocals. Some would argue about Keith Sweat, but they're all good vocalists, and I think they'd all have like one song each. Like New Edition did one on Home Again, I think it would work.
I think.
Or could have worked.
I think Diesel would have been my. I think I appreciate Diesel's from Basic Black and 911 more. I think hearing. I didn't get to hear enough from Joseph Stonestreet. All I have is people's references. So Levi Little, Tisha Covington, everyone talking about Deja, even Tammy Lucas talking about Deja. Sorry, not Deja, Stonestreet. So that's only, and even Sprague and Mooch, all those guys saying about Stonestreet. So that's only a reference. So I can't say I've heard him. So to me, Deja would be my favorite. But then Aaron is the one that sold the records, so everyone knows his vocals, so he's the stable stuff, and so you're sort of used to Aaron. But when I hear the records with Dezo, there's something amazing about his vocals. So and then Bub is Bub. So yeah, that would have been an amazing thing if they'd done a track.
That would be magic. You've just said it. I like just saying it's so exciting. Just even the idea of it. I know it's never going to happen. It's not possible now, but
two of them have passed on. Yeah, two of them have died. Yeah, but think about it. What Jam and Lewis did when they did their compilation album, or when Babyface did Waiting to Excel. So imagine if Teddy ever did a Teddy Riley Presents, and he just lets each of those artists take a song. Just imagine if
Why did Teddy not do that? Why would you not do that? Teddy Riley should have done that. He
should have done one of those albums. Teddy Riley Presents, just like Q's joint. I thought he should have done a Quincy Jones stuff.
Right? Of course,
he could have done a Teddy album, but like Quincy Jones, Q's joint, and that's what this guy did. What's this guy? Another one. You know the guy that says another one.
DJ Khaled.
Khaled, yeah, he's got his album, but
one.
Yeah, so I thought Teddy could have just done a simple Teddy Presents Part 1 and just have all these featured vocalists just on his album like that, and then just keep anyway.
And with the Joseph Stonestreet, I was just going to add one thing. There is, if you want to get a showcase of Joseph Stonestreet tracks, Namdi and anybody else that's interested, he's done some tracks with Carl Henry. If you check out Carl Henry's album from, I think it's 99-2000, there's a few Joseph Stonestreet tracks on there. Joseph Stonestreet also worked very closely with a guy we were listening to earlier, Tony Curtis, who worked with Rodney Jerkins. Some great Joseph Stonestreet vocals on that. And there's a YouTube clip of unreleased Joseph Stonestreet tracks. They are very, very good. The person that's listed that video claims that they are Teddy Riley's production. There's one track on there which sounds like it probably is, but I suspect that those productions are more likely to be from the New Jack Swing Productions crew. So people like Thomas Taliaferro, Walter Mucho Scott, Sprague, I reckon they might have more likely been involved. Definitely worth checking out, though. And African Chronicles, you know what that African Chronicles said about Deja, ARB, Mine, Basic Black, etc. I think what you meant is those didn't do commercially well. It's not that they weren't good. Yeah. All of those albums are solid. So I didn't agree with that as a sentence. But if you mean commercially successful, then that makes sense.
He said they didn't do much. They was talking about they didn't sell. Yeah.
My number 4 is runs at 4 minutes 55, and its time is running out. I think this is a great slice of New Jack, and I think it's got a fantastic hook. That hook is just ridiculous. Great chorus, great hook, and it easily could have been higher. But yeah, fantastic song. Time is running out. Number 4.
Time is running out. Yeah, that was produced by Bob. And I did say it was a Today song. It just felt like a Today song.
Yeah, very. It makes sense. It makes so much sense.
Yeah. Steve, what about you?
Again, I'm really tempted to change something here because this realizing this track is an absolute killer. So you know what? I'm gonna do right. I'm gonna go with because I'm gonna push it up because it's too good to be where it is. I'm gonna go number 3. No, sorry, number 4. I'm gonna go with Going Crazy.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Going Crazy is just an insane. The dub mix on the 12.
Oh my
the dub
God.
of Going Crazy. Oh,
Just
that is just
leave it out.
new Jack Bliss.
Yeah,
That's one of the best dubs that you'll ever hear.
New Jack heaven. That is.
Going for the 12-inch mix. No, again, what am I doing moving that up to number 4? Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah, Going Crazy at number 4.
Okay.
Change. Which
No, well,
puts it all out of sync. Well,
it's fine. It's fine. So Going Crazy at number 4. Okay.
Okay. Home stretch number 3 for me was the We've Got Something in Common. I just wonder if from this and Zan and so I mean where was the original blueprint for this song? You know, we would made to be together. Yeah, I mean, it was a nice, mature song. It felt like, you know, when if you were releasing a single, you put a little bit more work in it. Because I think we learned that, Stevie, from Jackie, where she says filler, you know, like just put stuff together. Jack McGee was when we did, I can't remember what album we did. Maybe it was the Bobby album.
yeah.
And she was just saying, yeah, that was just a filler track, you know, as in like, okay, just put some songs together. Let's just use it to fill up the album. But this is what we're going. This is the effort. And Mates to Be Together, even though it was the only one that had a video, that it felt like they put some work in it. They wanted it to feel like a record, and it was nice and decent. I like the fact they both sang on it. But it was mature Teddy, and you know next time we see Teddy come back to this production was when he did he worked with Patti LaBelle, and it wasn't the All This Time remix. It was oh God, what is the song? Oh come on, can you remember the song? Off of,
All This Love.
oh no, it was the other one.
This Word Is All.
This Word Is All That. Yeah, I love that song. I remember buying this, rushing to buy the album. I thought that would have been a better single to release than All This Love. But yes, so that's when he came back, and he'd also used, you know, because you could see him using the trumpet sound when he did stuff for Men of Vision as well. So when he's trying to do a more mature song, the trumpet sound comes out quite heavy, which isn't a bad thing. Right? Is it right? No, Right Kind of Love. It was Jimmy and Terry that did that one.
Yeah.
And Teddy did This World Is All. Yeah, that was a beautiful album. It went gold. So
Very nice album.
yeah, it went gold.
I love Paddy's Butter Mix, the Butter Mix, which was by Rodney Jerkins. Oh my God, what a mix!
Okay.
Rodney Jerkins' remix of that is just
it's
absolutely
very good.
bananas, absolutely insane. Anyway,
yes. Okay. So that was my number 3's. We Were Made to Be Together.
And Last Exit, you're talking about Simple Pleasure album. My God, that is probably one of the most underrated albums of that era. That album is so good. David Gamson's on it. You've got the Carl West remix of Never Before, and the remix is for what was that first single?
Never Before.
No, the one before that. What was it? Where did we go?
All right, where did
that one.
Yeah.
So very good. My number 3 is 4 minutes 25. It was the second single, I believe, and it's Going Crazy. Brilliant New Jack Swing track. I would love to have heard a Heavy D rap or a Rex and Effect rap on this, on some remix. Going Crazy. It's very, very good, isn't it?
Yeah, as I said, Going Crazy would have been better with just imagine if Deja sang it, or Aaron. It would have been a classic. Yeah. African Chronicles. Yeah, we talked about today. Big Bob wrote half the songs on this album, and some of the songs sounded as though they would have been on the Today album. Yeah, but Going Crazy, yeah, as I said, I just felt vocally, we just needed something. Yeah, Stevie, what about you? What's your number
I
three?
pushed my number, what was originally number 4. I'm going to push it to number 3, and that is "You Don't Appreciate My Love." What a great song that
What
is.
a
You
tune,
don't
man.
appreciate my love.
Big tune, man.
Yeah. Why was that not a single?
Should have been a single.
Why was that not a single?
Yeah,
You
that-
don't
Appreciate my love.
appreciate
No, you-
It's so catchy. So can I say something about the song? I played that song to my wife Monica. And we were listening to the whole album, and she wasn't feeling a lot of the album. Then that song came on, and she's like, "That's a proper song." She was so excited by it. So it makes sense. Yeah.
It's a good song. It has all the components of like a great single, and
Wow.
All right, so well, number 2. What did I write down for number 2? So this was a slow jam. It was a duet, and I felt that both of them really complemented themselves with this. And it's More and More on number 2. Who wrote this one? Yep, written by Big Bob, and he really put his stamp on this album. But yeah, really, there was one of my favorites on this. Well, it's number 2, so it shows you how high it is. But I felt that, as I mentioned, I think the guy's Curtis's vocals were best attuned for more of a mid-tempo ballads. He carried those ones really well, and this was, I felt this one complemented both of them singing at the same time. So More and More is my number 2.
I'm so happy you've rated that so high now. So happy. It really is. It's up there for me, that record. Very up there also.
Yeah. Hey,
there's
Zach.
my number 2 comes in at 4 minutes 57 seconds, and it is, of course, You Don't Appreciate My Love. What a song, man! This song, and this if Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis did a song and produced it with Teddy Riley, it would sound, in 1989, it would sound something like this. It probably would sound like something like this. This could easily have been an Alexander O'Neill song.
Mm.
And I rate it so highly. I think it's a stunner. It's an absolute stunner. There's parts of it which sound very much like a Jam and Lewis production, but then you've got these keyboard stabs by Teddy, and you're thinking, hold on a minute. It was a very odd. It was like Teddy Riley is trying to sound like Jam and Lewis. That's what that song sounds like to me. But then,
What were they doing in '89? Did they have anything else in '89?
Rhythm Nation.
Was that it?
Yeah, Rhythm Nation was out around that time, right? So there
Yeah,
would
but
have been Rhythm Nation singles. There would have been some New Edition singles. What else was out? They have Sherelle had some stuff out about that time.
So this sounds more 88, 87, SOS, Cyril and Joe and Alex type of Jimmy and Terry.
It sounds like Hearsay. It sounds like an Alexander O'Neill track off Hearsay. That you're right. I agree.
So I do want okay. Yeah. Stevie, what about you? What's number 2 for you?
My number 2, gosh, I mean, I played this to death back then. It could have been number 1. I just think it's a killer swing track. I hear everything you're saying about it, Namdi, but to me, it's still a killer. Time is running out. Time is run.
Big tune.
You can hear Big, but he's on the background vocals, isn't
Yeah,
it? You can
yeah.
hear
Yeah,
him.
but I said it sounded like it would have been a song for. They recorded it and it was like, oh,
that keyboard
Yeah.
solo in it. Oh my!
It's fantastic song.
Oh.
Time is running out is brilliant. And
yeah,
Time
time
is.
is fine. I thought it was a Today song that they recorded, but they couldn't put it on the album, so they gave it to them the next year because Today came out in '88, right? Today or '89?
Today came out 88, I think.
I'm gonna get Andrew on. Or
Is Andrew coming on? Andrew, we see you there.
is anyone?
There's a delay in typing and what goes onto the screen. Oh, good, yo, yeah. No, I thought he has the link and stuff.
Come and
So
say
that-
hi.
that's
Come
if
and
he
say
wants
hi.
to.
We
He
miss
did say he was going to come say hi.
you. That's okay. That's okay. We're just saying we miss you. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. No, so Steve, yeah, time is running out. Is as I said, definitely it was number 6 for me, but it could, yeah, no
I
different.
played it so much back then on the album. I
Mm,
wore my vinyl copy out playing that record.
Interesting.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. I'll come on. Yep. We'll wait to see it. Okay. So, yeah, I can probably run down my number 10 before I get to my number 1. And number 10 was Sexy Dancer. I don't, it made the top 10, VJ. So it made the top 10.
Hey, man.
How's it going, Knight? How you doing?
I'm
It's
doing
almost-
great.
Okay, you're
doing
whispering like your boss was in the next room and stuff. Like, I'm doing great.
It is so good to see the two of you in the same like window, and I love how like you guys went like rectangular. That is so dope. Anyway,
That's Namdi's magic, man. Namdi crops us and makes us look pretty, man.
I love it. Namdi's the
And,
magician,
you know, and matching uniforms as well. You know, you couldn't have gone in
right?
it. Yeah.
Oh, we didn't plan that. The moment he said that sounded all wrong. The way he said it, it sounded,
It's like,
I don't
okay,
know about that.
yeah, goodness. What was your thoughts about this album, Andrew? Before
Oh God, no. I didn't even. I'm still actually working, guys. I'm
I'm not.
doing
No.
Yankee. So I didn't even get a chance to listen to it, but I will say this though. You sold the heck out of the album when you said Teddy Riley being like Jam and Lewis. Like my love for Jam and Lewis knows no bounds. I almost tagged you in a post, Namdi, about Criticize being, I think, the most popular Alexander O'Neal song ever. And I remember, and you're the one who reminded me of that song because you picked it on our Jam and Lewis episode. I will shut up in a second. The other piece I want to say really quick though is, yeah, I think Sherelle, I think it might have been the Affair album that might have been 88, 89. But man, I just can't get enough of those dudes and their sound. So if the rest of Deja has that vibe, yeah, man, count me in.
So, Andrew, when you do get a chance, whenever you get a chance, I think Namdi made a particular point. So it's Jam and Lewis, Teddy Riley trying to sound like Jam and Lewis, and Namdi made it very specific to the year. So Namdi said it sounded like older Jam and Lewis,
like
than
Hearsay.
and he's
Yeah.
right. That the moment he said that, it says, I don't know about 89. It sounds like 88, 87. And then I thought, yes, 87. It sounds exactly like a Hearsay track that didn't quite make that album. So you don't appreciate my love. So when you get a chance to listen to that, I'd love to hear your take on that. And if Namdi's comment is accurate, I think it's very, very accurate. I think it's very accurate. I think he's on the money.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I don't know who Rhonda Clark is.
Oh, it's some great stuff.
Oh,
on
yes,
that.
Rhonda Clark. That's a good album. That's a good album.
But who did it? Jam and Lewis?
Listen to a track called State of Attraction. You'll love that.
State of Attraction,
Yeah.
man. That song's
No, but as I said, the first time you listen to this album, you're like, and half the songs, you're like, okay, I can hear, you know, in a climax or Janet or Alex I can hear the Minneapolis influence, which is very on Teddy like. And in fact, apart from a few tracks, you wouldn't really think Teddy did anything to this album, unless you and then you look and see that he did all the arrangements and production, and but he didn't do it, with Bob writing half the tracks and Curtis uh, Jones writing the other half. And then you start to wonder who gave the direction, because somebody would have directed Teddy to say, let's go in this direction. Let's try and find this older sound that complements this group, because this is not a natural Teddy album, and that's why you can appreciate it, because it was very different. Yes. Okay. Yes, but anyway,
Number two?
yeah, what was that?
I think you guys were number 2, right? So I got in
Yeah,
just in time. So,
yeah. So I'm counting down. So my number 10. So I went. I think number 6 was Time Is Running Out. Number 5 was Dreamer. Number 4 was Going Crazy. Number 3 is Made to Be Together. Number 2 is More and More. And my number 1 was a song that I wrote down here on my list. It sounds like an Alexander O'Neill song, produced by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
Wow.
You Don't Appreciate My Love.
He's gone for it. He's gone
That's-
for it. I knew it. When you said that, I was like, that's a great.
I mean,
It's a great
it,
choice for number 1.
oh goodness, I love the track. It is. I was like, this is not a Teddy Riley track. It doesn't sound like, and it was written by Curtis Jones, and he did the arrangement on this, and it is just so, it's so special, and I think this is why Alexander O'Neill, Hey Hopeful, is so endured, because of how he just delivered these songs and stuff, whether it's crazy, sorry, criticize or fake or sunshine. This song reminds me of that. It could have been written for Alexander O'Neill, and it surprised me how Teddy was able to pull it off. But that's
And
my favorite song on the album. You Don't Appreciate My Love. It's just everything going around the music, the musicality. I think they should have been released as the first single.
I think it's a brilliant choice, and I love that you've spotted this. This is you've shared a few nuggets today. You really have. Like you
Done his
mentioned.
homework.
No,
hasn't he?
you have done some homework. Definitely done your homework. The fact that you acknowledge that this sounds like Jam and Lewis, but then you said it's not 89 Jam and Lewis. You said it's 87 Jam and Lewis. I love that. That is on the money.
Do you know what we're gonna have to do now?
That is
We're gonna have to
such a good
find
sentence.
another album to send to Mandy today. We'll find something, won't we? Do a podcast on it.
Yeah.
I think the first time I listened to it, I was like, oh man, I didn't like it. Then I had to keep listening. And then, because I'm listening to it, 30 years later. So I have to get into the vibe of 80, 89. And then when you listen to it, and then now your brain is used to the songs, then you can start hearing all the other stuff around it. And I did the final listening this evening, and of course, definitely Appreciate My Love was always number 1, and More and More was number 2, and yeah. And I'm just seeing if there was any movements with anything. I think the only ones that there's not really much movement around with any of them. But yeah, so that was it.
Great list,
Don't
man.
Appreciate My Love is the track. Yeah, like Last Exit to Brooklyn. Yeah, definitely. And you've not listened to it, Night, that song. Okay.
As a Jam and Lewis fan, I'm excited for him to hear that, knowing that it's produced by Teddy and the other person that's credited on that track.
Well, what I'll do is maybe as VJ's going through his as is going through his stuff, maybe I'll send the track tonight so he can listen to it, and then he can. By the time they've done it, you can let me know what your thoughts are. It's sent to the group, so listen to it, and then after VJ and Stevie, you can come back and let us. You can not come back. You can let us know. All right, VJ.
So my number
Oops.
10 is Dreamer. Fantastic song. They're all fantastic songs. Number 9, Waiting Downtown. I think some people were surprised by the choice of where that positioning was for that one. Namdi's favorite song at number 8, Dance. Number 7, Patience and Time. Number 6, More and More. Number 5, personal track for me, Sexy Dancer. Number 4, Time Is Running Out. Number 3, Going Crazy. Number 2, You Don't Appreciate My Love. And I'm so happy that you put it at number 1, man. Wicked, brilliant tune, man. Wicked tune, man. And my number 1 is the lead single and the title track for the album. It's Made to Be Together.
Wow.
It is. Wow. It's the main single off the album and the winner. The production is a proper GR production. It's very well rounded. I love the way the snares hit. I love the way the keys hit. The harmonies, the vocals, the melodies, everything meshed together. I can imagine Guy singing this. This song itself, I think, would have fitted on a Guy album. I think it's that special, and Made to Be Together is fantastic. If you haven't heard it and you get a chance, there's a version of this called the Engagement Mix. Definitely worth a little listen. It's a very, very good track. But Made to Be Together is my number 1, and it was between this or You Don't Appreciate My Love. But Made to Be Together it's been a staple in my headspace for so long, and it was my first introduction to Deja. Before all of the stuff they did before with like You and Me Tonight, which we were talking about earlier, the Aura stuff. So my first introduction to Deja was that song, and I fell in love with the group from that moment on, and that is the reason why it's number 1.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
I think more Blackstreet than Guy, though. I can see, that with because Teddy got 2 or 3 people, or 2 vocalists to sing, so I can see more of a Blackstreet singing it than Aaron singing it all by himself.
Yeah, but I think it would have been a good song for. It could have been like I can imagine Aaron and Tammy singing this. I think it really would have worked. I hear guys singing this song. I think it would have been a massive hit.
Okay.
In my head, in an alternative universe, 2272. Maybe.
Goodness. Said Curtis was another group. It's called Slave, called Legion.
Yes.
Who had a single guaranteed. Check it out. Okay.
I'm sure in a couple of years from now, we're going to be sat on our laptops going, hey, whoever the AI assistant is, hey, for argument's sake, hey, Alexia, can you get that Made to Be Together track up and make Aaron Hall and
okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it will do it, and then download it for me once it's done.
Exactly.
And make a music video while you're at it.
Yeah.
Okay, Stevie, what about you?
I've made 3 changes to my top 10, but it's normal. I normally do my first draft, don't I? Then I change it. So I've made 2 drafts of this in the end. So I went with, in the end, number 10, Sexy Dancer. Number 8, Dance.
Blasphemous.
Yeah.
Number 7.
Then I moved Dreamer up to number 8. And then 7, Waiting Downtown. Number 6, Patience and Time. Number 5, Made to Be Together. Number 4, it was at number 3. It went back to number 4, Going Crazy. Number 3 is You Don't Appreciate My Love.
Yeah,
number 2 is Time Is Running Out as one of my fave swing tracks. And number 1, I think this is up. If we had to do, one day we will do a top 10 ballads, New Jack ballads, with Let's Chill, Make It Last Forever. This will be in my top 10. I don't know where it'll be.
Wow, that is a sentence massive. You said this. Oh my God, that's a sentence.
This track, I just think, is an absolute killer. It was always my favorite from back then. Hear it on the radio. One of the reasons I run out and bought the album. I think More and More is up there for me.
Wow, it's a great song. Great song.
Think it's an absolute great song.
It was my number 2, yeah.
But I think it's up there with Make It Last Forever and Let's Chill. It's that strong. But that's just
yeah. What did I put down for more and more?
I think we've all made good
So-
choices this evening.
I think it's a very good song. More and More is a very good song.
Yeah. Knight's still listening. I wonder what his thoughts are.
Okay, is he back?
I'm back.
What do you
What
think?
did you think?
All right. You don't appreciate my love.
Got it.
Right. So I definitely hear the Jam and Lewis. That is for sure. That is for sure. And then I saw Last Exits to Brooklyn's You Don't Appreciate My Love is the track. So my kind of feeling on it is vocally, vocally it's strong. It's strong, but it did sound vocally kind of like, I'm so sorry to say this, but kind of like generic. Like it didn't pop. And like I'm wondering why certain acts didn't blow up versus ones that did, right? Like could this have been anybody? Like could anyone have sung that song? Like did it sound very distinct? It didn't to me. The vibe, if I went back in a time machine and I was in 1988, 89, and that song came on, I would definitely dance. And then the other piece that I think distinguishes a Teddy Riley from a Jam and Lewis is that Teddy will lock you into a groove where it's just, and it's literally, you don't appreciate my love. He's hitting you over the head with that, right? Whereas with Criticize, it's literally like he'll do a lock, but then all of a sudden it just switches up to da 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 da. Like it's very dynamic, and that's what I love about the Jam and Lewis thing. So you didn't ask for all that, but ultimately I would give it like a 7 out of 10. Not bad. Didn't blow my socks off, but it definitely does not sound like your standard Teddy, and for that I give him props.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing that I've mentioned throughout was the fact that I didn't think vocally the guy, and I kept saying if Deja from Basic Black or Aaron or Joseph
Big Bob?
Stonestreet or Bob had been the lead singer of this, it would have had much more of an impact. And I think you're right about when you have a very distinct vocal, it transmits something else. That's why Tammy Lucas endures, because when we hear her sing, it just feels like she's tugging on our hearts.
And Namdi, it reminds me of something I actually literally watched yesterday. So I was watching a podcast with Jimmy Jam, and he was talking about how L.A. Reid had totally rejected Usher's "You Remind Me," his first take, because Usher was copying the guide vocal from the demo, and L.A. Reid's like, "I want you to sound like you." And Jimmy Jam literally said, "What is the most important part of a song or a single?" And Jam said, "Usher is pretty much the only person who's ever gotten that answer right." And the answer, he said, they usually hear or the beat or the melody or whatever, but Usher said, "You," as in like your voice. And Jam was like, exactly. It's the singer's voice and delivery that makes the difference. And as crazy as dope as Usher is, L.A. Reid was ready to say no to "You Remind Me." Like that was not going to be on the album until he sang it like the way he knew how. And he literally had to forget how to sing it the way he was taught and go back to Usher. I want you to sing the way you sing, not the way that other person sang. Anyway, thank you for sharing that song with me and for letting me like hijack the podcast. Stevie, had to say what's up to you, man. I feel like I'm here in the same room, but I had to say what's up to you while we're here. Yeah, right.
And Stevie, can you read what Benson said and then tell me what I told you earlier?
He says, in my opinion, You Me Tonight is better than all of these tracks. And it's exactly what VJ said earlier. And
half an hour before the podcast, I said just that.
It's an incredible track.
I said exactly that.
It's a classic. It is an 80s classic, an 80s soul classic. Without a doubt.
By who?
Deja.
80s, I think it's 80s,
Yeah.
86, 87.
Go on YouTube that. You'll see it on Top of the Pops and everything.
You and Me
hit.
Tonight was
it was it was a hit. Big hit.
Perfect tune.
Okay. Yeah, but as I said, and I was very consistent about the guy's vocal.
Yes.
would have made a massive difference. But that's him. I mean, and that's the work with it. I wonder why the album didn't blow up. Could it have been that? But Basic Black, I think that went gold. But because they released three singles, at least three singles of the Basic Black album. So
The other piece is Virgin. I noticed they were signed to Virgin Records, and I think Virgin was a little bit hit and miss with their artists. I know even like Pharrell wasn't happy with the way Virgin treated NERD. So they were either all in for you or they weren't. That's the impression I get from Virgin.
yeah, they had After Seven and
Paul Abdul and
yeah.
Well, you got to think the label at Deja, it was 10, wasn't it? Remember in the UK that label 10,
10.
That was a dance label, so it's what they were promoting as well at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and it's hard because MCA was so oversaturated. So you'd have gone there and then waited 2 years before they could consider your next single, because they had MCA and they had Uptown, and they just didn't have the space. But as I mentioned, I think you could have won them over, like Alexander O'Neal. I think vocally he brought something to the table that that was distinctive.
yes.
Even Colonel Abraham. Colonel Abraham. I'm trapped, so trapped like a fool. I'm in. I can't get out. So, but it was vocally. He was like, okay, wow, this is it was a song. He delivered the vocals and stuff like that. But I think that was my only big thing, is that I just didn't like how he sounded vocally. I thought he could have done more, but
I think there's if you hear the Aura stuff and the Deja stuff, I think vocally, I think that stacks better. I think this is later in Curtis Jones' career. He did have some fantastic stuff out in the 2000s, but that's a different conversation. I think he's a very talented person, but his earlier stuff sold many, many more copies than this particular album. This album didn't hit the big time. It wasn't promoted like that, like the Abstract was. All of the albums.
which the Abstract wasn't promoted.
Abstract wasn't promoted well. Abstract wasn't promoted.
Yeah.
Mind, ARB, Basic Black, all of the albums that African Chronicles mentioned earlier, none of them were promoted properly, and I think all of them could have done better. Mind, how good is Mind as an album?
It wasn't even on a major label.
It wasn't. It was such a good
tiny
album.
on a tiny label.
Yeah.
GEG.
Yeah.
Itchy bad.
What did GEG stand for?
Something to do with Gene Griffin, obviously.
Of course it was.
Produced by Z Mutaz, who Idris tells us was Gene. Z Mutaz didn't exist.
Oh goodness. Well, I mean, it was a short one tonight, but as I said, it was a good little discussion. It was a good.
Oh, we've got one more list.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Go ahead, V.
So this was the combined list from everybody. Number 10 was Waiting Downtown.
Waiting Downtown.
Number 9 was Dreamer. Number 8 was Sexy Dancer.
Are you sure you didn't twist that around?
No, let's see the list.
Okay.
No, hold on. This is the list. Waiting Downtown was number 10. Sexy Dancer was number 8. Sorry, my mistake. 8. Sexy Dancer was number 8. Patience and Time was number 8. Dreamer was number 7. Going Crazy was 6. More and More was number 5. Dance was number 4. I think that's a surprise. Number 3 was You Don't Appreciate My Love.
Wow.
Number 2 was Time Is Running Out. And number 1 was Made to Be Together. That's your lot. And I think I'm not surprised by the top 3, really. Made to Be Together, Time Is Running Out, and You Don't Appreciate My Love. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I don't understand Dance at number 4, but hey, it's a collective decision. So that's your lot. One other thing I didn't know, like looking at the credits, there's a few. So we know that Teddy Riley, Bernard Bell, Lee Drakeford was on this, Marsha McClurkin. They're the names, and Dave Way. They're the names we knew. Gene Griffin. But I don't know who Morissette Martin is, Michelle Mitchell, Mike Chowles, and Rodney Ascade. I've never heard those names before. So and they're all backing vocalists on this. So I've never heard of them before. So if anybody knows anything, maybe share with us next time.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, guys, it was definitely great doing this album. I think the final one we'll probably do in September would be Star Point. But then again, we still may have to do the Rex and Effects because that's part of the GR stuff. So we'll find a time to cover all of GR production, and then eventually rank them. We by the time we've done the last of the GR productions, we may have to rank them as to which we thought was our favorite to the least favorite. I don't think Eminem would qualify for GR because
No,
it wasn't part of the staple and stuff. Yes. All right, guys, it was definitely a beautiful show. I never thought I almost was dreading it, thinking, oh man, I can't, do I know the album well enough? But I really immersed myself with it for a couple of weeks, just soaking it in, and I definitely appreciate the album. The worst thing, what you guys don't realize, that the moment we finish the episode, as soon as I get in my car will connect to my Android stuff, and it'll just start playing. So tomorrow when I'm driving into the clinic, it's going to start playing, and I'm going to have to say, nope, we've done for you now. And I'll probably have to go in a different direction just to immerse myself in a different album. But I appreciate, especially for these albums that I didn't really listen to back when they came out, I appreciate the opportunity to listen to them and actually reflect on them, which is quite difficult compared to you guys who knew the songs and album back then. I'm having to base it on 2025, but I appreciate it as though it came out in 87, so that 89.
You did a good job, Nandi. And I think, but with having said that, I think that's fantastic because all of us, it's all about learning, right? So if you don't know something, we learn something. We all know New Jack Swing, and we all know what we know about New Jack Swing, and we learn new things. Like this nutter, he's sharing an album called Crystal with me. He says, PJ, you have to listen to this. It's a great New Jack track on here. I'm like, dude, I've never heard of this ever in my life. What are you talking about? But it's about learning, and it's like it's great. It's great. I love it, man. And Nandi, you some of the stuff you shared today was brilliant, man.
Well, coming from the professor, that's high compliment as well. Okay, guys. Well, we appreciate you, love you as always, and we will be back in due time. I will let you know when. But thanks for rocking with us, and all those who start from the beginning, those who came late, and we'll see you in due time. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that category.
And somewhere in between.
For even loving us, on which I did miss you with.
What was it like growing up?
She's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a pieces.
I didn't get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me,
Oh, I probably
No, okay.